My name is Matt Saxton, and I flew in from Dallas, Texas, originally from Madison, Mississippi, and I was lucky enough to be able to have Roadster Shop build me this badass 1970 Chevelle. Here we are, woke up at 4 in the morning because I'm like a kid on Christmas Day, headed to the shop and making the cruise from Mundaline to Columbus. We're about halfway through it. The car performs flawlessly. Here we are talking, having a great time. Saw it last year for the first time and I was blown away, and then getting up here to the shop. I've never been to the shop before. That's how much I trust these guys to build a car for me. The whole relationship was over the phone, meeting that good guys a few times, and trusted them enough to actually build the car for me. Got to the shop, did a shop tour. The technology is incredible. Getting to see all the cars, their builds. I'm constantly checking the website because I love looking under the current builds and seeing everything these guys got going on. So yeah, I mean, getting to the shop and seeing Chevelle sitting outside amongst all these other badass builds is yeah, I mean, it's a dream come true for me, and I'm just excited to be part of the tour. Luckily now, because the internet and Instagram, you can really look and see all the different styles out there. And I probably started following Roadster Shop, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and I always said, like, they seem to be the one that really beat the style and kind of blend the technology. I always thought it was pretty fascinating to use the guy that's making the chassis to do the complete build. Just makes sense, it all goes together, and they understand that process. And a couple years ago, I finally got in a position where I felt like I could have you guys build a car for me. And luckily, somebody had backed out on a 70 Chevelle. I ended up contacting Phil. He said, "Are you ready?" And I said, "Damn right, I'm ready." And went through the process, gave them a few ideas in the beginning, but really I chose these guys because I didn't feel like I needed to guide them through. They know what's best. I chose the color and the stripes. Other than that, these guys kind of went to town and did exactly what I really envisioned. You know, I think what drew me to it is I'm a tall guy, and I just always have felt like the 70 Chevelle in particular has like stood out. It's got a big ass rear end on it. If you've ever watched the movie Dazed and Confused, we always call this Melba Toast. And
let me tell you what Melba Toast is packing right here. All right, we've got 411 posi track out back, 750 double pumper, Edelbrock intakes, scored over 30, 11-to-1 pop-up pistons, turbojet, 390 horsepower. We're talking some bucking muscle.
Yeah, it's an LSX 454 Texas Speed built the engine. You know, when I was going through the build, we got to the engine part, and I'm not an expert. I like horsepower, and I asked Phil, I said, "Hey Phil, what's your favorite engine to date you have put in one of your cars?" And he said, "Listen, we put in this LSX into a 66 Survivor Chevelle, and let me tell you, it handles great torque, streetability is fantastic, not some low PKM, so when you're sitting at idle at a stoplight, it sounds great." And I said, "Great, let's do it." And here we are, the car has got, I think it's 600 horsepower at the rear wheels, 599 right at 600. And so a little bit over 700 at the crank. And yeah, it's bitchin'. If you look underneath, it looks just like a old school big block. Maybe some trick valve cover items with the air cleaner. And it's fooled a lot of people. So yeah, Texas Speed built a hell of an engine. And I'm very pleased with it thus far. So it's awesome. We're going to hear a little bit of it. That always brings a smile to your face. It just, to me, is like, symbolizes like 70, this was like the height from a muscle car standpoint. You get the 454 in it, and that really, to me, growing up, it was a car that I always said, hey, someday if I have the opportunity or the money to be able to purchase one, it's the car I want. I love Impalas and I love a lot of things, but the one car I wanted, I always felt like the 70 Chevelle stands out. Like we're in the parking lot today. the guy comes up and he's like, wow. I mean, he's drawn the 70 Chevelle like everybody knows. Your wife knows the 70 Chevelle. Your girlfriend knows it. And if they don't, they should know it because it stands out. You know, it just makes a impression from the start. And I knew that this car done right, purist style from the outside, they really nailed it. And yeah, you know, interior wise, I told these guys, hey, let's keep a stock 70 dash, but we have Dakota digital. These are their HDX gauges. They're awesome, great visibility. You have the little digital windows, which are great. Kept with the stock dash. They did a new console for me, and then Avant-Garde just went wild in here. You can see we got an Alcantara headliner. These are 3D machined door handles over here. All the panels are made to look like an original 70 Chevelle, but all wrapped in Italian. It smells like an Italian sports car in here. It smells awesome. Yeah, and I told those guys I want creature comforts. AC is a must. I've never had AC in a vehicle before, and I live in Texas, so I'm always sweating my ass off. So it's nice to actually have actual AC in a vehicle. And the guys down at Avant-Garde also did nice insulation in here, so we can talk and have a conversation while we're driving a car with 700 plus horsepower. So that way it makes it really easy to be able to do that. Love the interior. It's one of my favorite parts about the car. I grew up. I'm a purist. I love old cars, untouched. Original paint, Survivor, and they're fun. They're great to look at. They're more fun to look at than they are actually to drive. When I say I used to drive them all the time, I go 5 miles to the gas station and fill them up. But really, if you want the full experience, the great thing about these Survivor builds, or if you do a full build like myself, is you get the best of both worlds. You get reliability, dependability. You get great performance and handling, and those things, let's just face it, if you get in a 69 Camaro after driving this car today, it's just a totally different experience. And so for me, I want to be able to drive the stuff that I have, and I found myself having all these old cars, but I wasn't driving them. And so if you're into just looking at your car, then I'd say stick with it. But if you really want to drive and enjoy them, then you do have to do something. And the easiest thing to do, at least financially, to upgrade your car is to get a new chassis underneath it. That's where Roadster Shop, I had a 66 Chevelle, the Roadster Shop did the chassis for, and similar experience. I mean, the car was a Survivor car, original paint car, and then once you put that chassis underneath it, it changes the whole drivability of it. So it's nice being able to have something that you don't have to fear is going to break down on the side of the road, which has happened to me a dozen times over the years. And then once you get a car like this done, and you get it done the right way, then here we are, 1,200 miles on the car. I got it last November, and I'll put hopefully 3,000 to 4,000 miles a year on it. As much as I can drive it on the weekends, I'm out here driving and enjoying it. So I've driven it a few times. This is the farthest I've ever gotten to drive it. So before today, you know, I've done 30, 40 mile trips around Dallas. I'll go out to the suburbs, but today we're about a little over 200 miles in, and as you can see, this big ass smile on my face all day it just doesn't really wear off. So it never gets old. And being able to look at, you know, a 60-something Paul in front of me and the Ford behind me in my rearview mirror, it's just that's the best part. What's so fun about what we're doing today is that unless you make an effort to do something like this, they don't just happen organically, right? You don't get 10 guys together and say, hey, we're going to go drive 300 miles. That happens once or twice a year. And so to be able to do this and actually get out there and see the way the cars handle and perform, you just don't get that from driving to the gas station, you know, or driving to the grocery store, or going to show a buddy a quick ride on the weekend. You got to get out and get some miles on them and enjoy them, and that's when you can really see the difference with the Roadster Shop chassis and you know, and the LSX underneath the hood. It all comes together to make a really badass car. So hell of a lot of fun. I'm gonna drive the hell out of this car. I think if you see the car in person, you'll realize just exactly how it all came together to produce, in my eyes, the perfect hot rod. I love this car. I love driving it every day when I get a chance. And yeah, it's been a hell of a lot of fun. For me, it was really a no-brainer. Now that I have this, I look forward to doing more builds with Roadster Shop and getting some maybe an early 60s Impala, maybe a square body truck. Or there's a lot of different ideas out in my head of things I want to do. So I hope these guys are the guys that can make that happen for me. Listen, we've had a hell of a day today. Here we are, a couple hundred miles out from Columbus, traveling. What are we going? 70 miles an hour, smooth. We're going to get to Columbus. We're going to park the cars, we're going to drink some beers, and hopefully talk to a bunch of other car guys, hot rodders all weekend. And I'm pleased to be on this tour. This is a hell of a group of guys, humble guys. I like being around humble people that are experts at the craft, that they're doing every day. And this is just, yeah, for me, it's a dream come true. I texted my wife a little bit ago and told her how much fun I'm having. And so, yeah, it's awesome. And I look forward to getting to Columbus and checking out everybody else's builds as well. So, good times.